All right, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna get into a variety of topics, but this first topic, there is a hidden $250 discount that anybody can get if you know exactly where to go, where to find the exact inventory. So I'll show you exactly where to get this $250 discount off of a vehicle this month, or maybe even next month, depending on how you actually play it. So we're going to get into that, and plus a variety of different topics. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can get access to the best Tesla buying guide out there, which has all the links that I use to get the best deal, including the interest rates in banks and credit unions that I use that have rates as low as 3.7, some even 2.99%. So definitely check it out. Link down below in the Patreon. And as you can tell, we are not home. We are on the road right now, so I don't have my fancy widget at the bottom. But thank you to my latest Patreon members. We got Kevin, Melda, Vincent, Joshi, J. Fred, and Leanne. Thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting. If you want to check it out, link down below in the description, where you get access to the buying guide, the ultimate buying guide that I like to call it. But let us get into this. So, if you didn't know, Tesla increased the price of the Model 3 and Model Y in all trims by $250 very, very recently. And on top of that, big news yesterday, I'm sure most of you have known by now, but there is echo in the voice. Oh, interesting. Thank you. What's going on here?
How about now? How about now? Perfect. Thank you. How about now? Okay, now I think now it's working. But anyways, yesterday, $250 increase of the price, or very recently. And on top of that, yesterday, there was a reintroduction of the Tesla Model 3 long range. A lot of people have been waiting out this. We're going to talk about this in a little bit later on, what the speculation out there of it and what people might think must be going on with this Model 3 or not. But anyways, let's take a look at this. But if you didn't know, there was a $250 price increase this past Monday. So Model 3 got a price increase of $250. Model Y also got a price increase of $250. So across the board, it's a very weird, very, very weird at the end of the day price increase. Let me know what your thoughts are. We talked about it yesterday on why this potentially could be, but I really think that it is some sort of mind game or some sort of way for people to try, for Tesla to try and incentivize people to take delivery ASAP. And I think that's exactly what Tesla is trying to do here. They're trying to build up some sort of hype and saying, hey, $250 increase, then people out there are going to feel like they need to take delivery because their deal might be a little bit better. But little did we know that Tesla did a sleight of hand. They increased the price of the, ordering page of these vehicles for the Model Y and the Model 3 by $250. And so now, of course, you see these really weird prices on the screen, $50,240, $54,240. But little do we know that there is actually a way to get the older price. If you need a car absolutely today, if you need to take delivery by this month, there is a way to get the old $250 pre-existing price beforehand, and this is actually how you do it. I made a tweet earlier today, breaking Tesla pricing game continue, $250 discount on existing inventory days after a $250 increase. Of course, this might be some sort of strategy to clear out older units, or maybe the builds of these units, it's not, what people actually want. And so if you go to Tesla.com and you go to any sort of existing inventory page, you will actually see that all the different prices are a little bit lower, $200, maybe even $50 discount lower. And you can see right here. So of course, this is waiting for Tesla.com. You can see all the different inventory vehicles out there, and you can see they are all at the older price of $990. Of course, you can tell very easily by the old price showing $39,990 or whatever the price may actually be. So switching to Model Y, we can can see right here on the screen that all the older prices are still there. And I want to say these prices increased just a little bit for a short period of time. And you can see the system is kind of messed up with waiting for Tesla because he probably hasn't added his algorithms yet. But you can see right here, if we click down, it takes you to the Tesla vehicle page where you can reserve the vehicle, place your deposits down, and secure it, which of course we actually recommend. Especially we recommend if you can find a demo vehicle, one with some sort of discount. I've always, promoted demo vehicles anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 or even $4,000 discount. And if you can wait till the end of the quarter, wait till the end of June, that is when it will be a fantastic time to buy one and secure your vehicle or secure your Tesla. So if you're out there, if you were a little upset, if you didn't have a order placed in the queue for a Tesla vehicle and you thought that you lost out on the lowest price of an increased price of $250, fear not, because there is vehicles right here. There are prices here on the screen where you can actually get a discounted or older price, $250, yes, less. But let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. I guess it's kind of like a hack. I mean, please do not. I mean, now I guess the question is, if you place an order for a brand new one off of the Tesla ordering site and they match you to an existing inventory one, you're probably going to be paying that extra $250 price, which is certainly not worth it. But certainly at the end of the day, getting a vehicle, if you need a vehicle, it would probably be a better case at the end of the day. But we're going to jump into our next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you can support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me. You can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the credit unions and banks that I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible rate, including credit unions and banks on that list that have interest rates as low as 3.7% down to 2.99%. So definitely check it out, link down below in the description. And as an added benefit, I do respond to all DMs or direct messages in the Patreon app if you want to ask a question at a certain membership level. So definitely check it out, link down below in the description. Thanks for coming in, Tech10, Harris, Marks. Thanks for helping me with the audio issues that I had early on. Vic, thanks for coming in. Chris, Tech10, Ivan, Corgi-san, thank you all for helping and supporting. We've got a couple topics because it's pretty interesting with this new Model 3 that just came out. So we'll talk about it. But in this next topic, the Model 3 long range is back, and now you can order it. You can place a deposit and you can order it and everything. But what if the brand new Model 3 long range that is just came back with a interesting model range that we'll talk about? What if it is actually the Model 3 Project Refresh Highland? So we'll talk about it and what people might be thinking for it and against it. But I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think the Model 3 that just got released on the website is the Project Highland, or do you think it's something else? Because there's a couple things that could be coming up in the near future that might explain or sway to that. But let's talk about it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. So let's take a look at this. So if you don't know what happened very, very recently, Model 3, or actually even happened last night, the Model 3 long range was reintroduced back into the queue so that people could order it. But there's a couple things that from my position here on the Model 3. I mean, the Model 3, great car. I had a Model 3 Performance Stealth with the 300-mile range. It was my first Tesla. I definitely it has a place in my heart for it. But it's kind of interesting because they brought the vehicle back at a price of $47,240. But it only qualifies for the $3,750 tax credit. So I'm kind of stuck because I'm not really sure that is a good deal, especially when you got the Tesla Model Y that qualifies for the full $7,500 federal tax credit. It's essentially almost very, very similar in price, like maybe a couple dollars or thousands or even. So I feel like a lot of you out there are probably going to be swayed to the Model Y long range instead, unless you are an absolute sport sedan type of owner. You want 4 doors, you want to be low to the ground for that suspension handling and all that. But very interesting stuff, because the first couple things that come that stick out to a lot of people is that it's got a 200 or 325 mile range, or it says 325 plus. So take that for whatever that could be worth. And on top of that, it's not going to be eligible for delivery until a month from now, or maybe even almost 2 months, because June, that could be a whole month or maybe even a month and a half. But there's a couple things there, because that's interesting, right? Because there is a lot of Tesla Model 3 inventory in the books. I mean, we had a slight little dip for some reason, but inventory for the Model 3 has never been this high ever. There's almost 774 brand new Tesla Model 3s posted to the Tesla websites. And so there's a lot that could be going on here. And so a lot of people are speculating, right? We love to think about what could be coming next. But shout out to Dalton Thrasher. I know this is unlikely, but what if Tesla unveils the Project Highland at the shareholders meeting? And we know the Tesla shareholders meeting is coming up very, very soon. I want to say it's like in a month or now, May 16th. So in just basically almost 2 weeks from now. So what are the odds of this actually happening? Because we could be in the rumor mill a lot, and this, because it says June of 2023, maybe they're trying to align it with that, and maybe why they're being so tight-lipped about it right now, because let's face it, Model 3 inventory and Model 3 sales, a little bit tough right now. So if they were to release that it is the new Highline, no one is going to want to take delivery of the older vehicles, and they're going to have a tough time doing that. And on top of that, that could explain why inventory right now, at least the older inventory that's sitting in the inventory, is at the lower price versus the newest updated price. And so maybe they're creating this spread between old Model 3 and new Model 3 pricing and things like that. But who knows, right? I mean, this is what we know. A lot of people are saying the same exact stats, like Model 3 is back, long range 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds, 325 mile range, top speed 145, and starts at 47,240 with a 3750 tax credit. Of course, here's another one from Jay Jeeves, another YouTuber. Model 3 long range available. Not sure if this is the Highline model because the pictures are the same and the range is a guess. What do you think? And so there is definitely a lot of speculation, but at the end of the day, we can speculate that it's the LFP battery as the same that's in the Model 3 standard range. And it seems like if that's the case, then you should be able to charge it up to 100% to get that full 325 mile range. But here's something interesting from actually Matt Jung, the creator of this website that shows all the different inventory charts. Quote, interesting little detail on the newly introduced Model 3 long range. It has a new model code. The model code for the previous Model 3 long range was MT324, and the new one is now MT328. So take that for whatever it's worth. We can always speculate as much as possible. I mean, it would be pretty interesting for anybody that is about to place an order on a Tesla and they place an order on a Model 3 long range, and you'll be maybe one of the first to get a Project Highland. Maybe, fingers crossed, right? But let me know what your thoughts on it. And so definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what you're thinking. I mean, it would be amazing if the Model 3 long range Project Highland comes out and it were at least is announced at the shareholder meeting in a couple weeks. I mean, being me, I would love to hear more about this Cybertruck that's supposedly coming out in the next few months than a Model 3 Highland. But I mean, at the end of the day, Model 3 Highland for the sales, the Tesla shareholders, is much better at the end of the day. But let me know what your thoughts on it. We're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you can support the channel. And there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me, where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which is the ultimate buying guide that has all the links that I use to get the best possible deal, including credit unions and banks on that list that all have interest rates lower than Tesla financing, some even as low as 3.7 to 2.99%. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And as an added benefit, I do respond to all DMs or direct messages in the Patreon app if you want to send me a quick message at a certain membership level. So definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. Well, let's see what you guys got here. Thanks for coming in, Chris P. I see you've joined. Provoke, thank you. Haven't seen you in a few days, I feel like. And so yeah, definitely, that is a benefit. We will get to the live stream comments and answer all your questions. But one more topic, and then we'll jump into it. So this next topic, we're going to talk about Tesla financing. We've been talking about it for a few different days now, and it keeps getting more interesting because now it is getting brought to light that Tesla financing does a lot more creative financing in other markets that are not the US. I'm talking 10-year loans that we talked about yesterday, maybe a loan rate of 1.99%. And so this is good because if they're subsidizing it or working with their banking partners in other countries, then we can certainly hope and expect that it may come to this country, United States, and we can all get really good rates very, very soon. So we'll talk about it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can get the ultimate Tesla buying guide. But definitely check it out, link down below in the description. But let us get into this. Shout out to Matthias Fonz, or Fonzie K. Three different examples of demand levers that Tesla has in Europe, offering a 10-year loan at 3.4% APY finance rate. 10-year loan, 120 months financing. It's definitely pretty high. I mean, but there is credit unions in America where you can get 5.99% for 88 months and 6-point-something% for 96 months. So maybe we're almost there, but still really crazy. 10-year loans, 3.4%. That's a really fantastic rate. I mean, that's as good as some of the credit unions out there, and of course, that's better than Tesla's financing rate of 5.59%. But I mean, big news today. Fed raised the basis interest rates by 0.25 or 25 basis points. So we can fully expect that this interest rate will be going up pretty shortly soon. So we'll take a look. But and then in this other country, offering a 12% down payment for a 5-year loan at 1.99%. So also not pretty bad. I think that's Germany, right? Yeah, the German flag. Sorry if I'm wrong. But of course, you have to put 12% down to get this type of loan, which is most of the time you're going to put that down anyways, like $3,000 to $4,000 through Tesla financing. But a 5-year loan or 60 months at 1.99% is definitely a very nice rate. And then lastly, in Denmark, offering a $2,000 software upgrade for 4 referrals for the acceleration booth. And another thing that stuck out to me is that Fonz actually took a look and looked at all the other financing partners out there, all the different countries. And I didn't realize like some of the bigger banks are also providing Tesla financing for other countries as well. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. This is really cool to see that they're doing this in other markets, because that's the thing. We tracked a lot of discounts when Tesla would do price increases or price decreases across the country or across the world. And we always started to notice that whenever they would test discounts or test incentives in other countries, they would bring that same similar type of incentive to the USA as well. So really cool to see this is happening. We started getting a little trickle effect of some people saying that they're getting a lower rate through Tesla financing. I got a screenshot of one showing 5.49%, so 0.10 lower, but I still have yet to see, because supposedly you can get 4.49% through Tesla financing through TD Bank, but I still have yet to get a screenshot of that. So if you just bought a Tesla, or if you just got approved really recently, I'd love to confirm that for the rest of the community and everyone else, so that we can actually see, is it possible to get a much lower rate through Tesla financing? I mean, it definitely is through credit unions and other banks for sure. Patreon link down below in the description. And also you can check out Tenet, which is a different type of financing, a link down below, where you can get a low monthly payment on your Tesla. And Tenet does this because they work with credit unions and allow you to defer a portion of the loan, maybe even that $7,500 federal tax rate, which then lowers the monthly payment, or you can even refinance your Tesla after that. But thank you to Tenet for sponsoring, and definitely check out Tenet down below in the description if you want to check it out. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Other countries out there are doing very creative financing, and so that it is very cool to see at the end of the day. But we're going to jump into the live stream comments where I answer all your questions. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link where you can support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me. You can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the credit unions and banks I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible rate, including credit unions and banks on that list that all have interest rates lower than Tesla financing, some even as low as 3.7 to 2.99%. So definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. Kombucha break. All right. Oh, I forgot to do my plug for the, whoops. Let's see if I can do it now. Usually we got the pop-out chat, and then let's see. Let me do this. And then let me do this. Thanks for joining in, everyone. As you can tell, we are on the road again. There we go. Okay, it's still not showing the whole thing, but at least we got some of it back. Let's see here. Chris P, bro, I just placed my order for the Model 3 long range. Excited as fuck, but 1 to 2 month wait time. Hey, maybe Chris, maybe it's the Highline. Fingers crossed, right? Thanks for all the info. Never even had a hybrid. Well, hybrid is definitely different than a Tesla, but still, you're gonna love it. I mean, I feel like people get addicted to driving electric vehicles after they figure out the charging and all that stuff. So congrats to you, Chris. And if anybody's out there that has just bought a Tesla or just placed an order, definitely check out our Tesla part accessory partners down below in the description where you can get an extra discount on a bunch of different companies. We got Tamai, Jawa, MAGBAK, 3D Mats USA, which is a very premium floor mat. Thank you to everybody that's been using those links and supporting the channel. So definitely check out if you want an extra discount on Tesla accessories. What's the difference between custom order and inventory? Is the inventory faster? Yes, Ivan, inventory is much faster. So just be aware of that. I mean, I'm certainly recommending people place some sort of order and then stall until June, because June is when all the incentives are going to be coming out. But if you can't wait, find an inventory vehicle, try and get $1,000 to $2,000 discount. I mean, I prefer $3,000 to $4,000 discount, but I know that might be a little bit harder, but that's what I'll be shooting for. I'm waiting forward to the end of June. Yes, exactly, 1010. All the deals are going to be there. The Model 3 long range is exactly what I need. Vic, yeah, it's a good car. I mean, I won't knock it, but it's tough. I mean, the price of the Model 3 long range, I mean, 47,240. I mean, let's just do the math here, because 47,240 minus 3,750, 47,240 minus 3,750 is a adjusted price of 43,005. We'll just call it that. Model Y, 50,240 minus 7,500, 42,740 adjusted. So that's a difference of basically $750 in favor of the Tesla Model Y long range. Why would Tesla do this? Do you guys follow what I'm saying here? So the Model Y long range is $750 less than the Model 3 long range, if you know, all things being equal and you factor in the full tax credit, which most people will qualify if you're buying a Tesla, at least recommended, because hopefully you're going to be making 50, 60, 70K of a W2 income. Of course, 70K with W2 income to get the full 7,500 benefit. But Model 3, about 50K W2 income to get the 3,750 benefit. That's interesting, right? Like, why would they make the Model Y long range slightly cheaper? Unless a Project Highland is much sooner. What are we thinking? What's the benefit of waiting until June? Provoke all the different incentives. Because it's end of quarter, that's when Tesla gets aggressive, gets more antsy, and they want to get all the deliveries and sales by the end of the quarter. So they start to release promotions, like most recently free supercharging that happened in December, and so things like that. Hey Vic, both the Model 3 standard range and long range are not eligible for the full 7,500. It only gets 3,750. Yes, 100%. Thank you, Tech10, for helping with that. Really hoping it's a LFP. Chris P, yeah, and well, it seems like it's LFP. Yeah, the 3,750 came as a surprise. The lady I spoke to Tesla too, she was sure is the full 7.5. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not the full 7,500. The test of the Model 3 and Model Y, they were great, but Model 3 felt like a single bachelor, no pets. Yeah, Model 3 definitely sporty, lowered to the ground, and I mean, Model 3, M3. Yeah, it has to do with the batteries. The LFP battery and the Model 3 are made in China, which makes it ineligible for the full 7,500 credit. Yes, 100% correct. Tech 10. Thanks for dropping that. Fingers crossed. Yeah, 100%. I really hope that they fix the ultrasonic sensors on the front bumper for both the Model 3 and the Model Y, and somehow makes Tesla Vision better for near objects. Tech 10. Probably a lot of people are hoping that for sure, but yeah, only if we would get a 10-year car loan. Yeah, hopefully they stretch it that long because they're going to use it for maybe business purposes and then pay it down much more quicker once they get more cash flow. How much do you think the price will be reduced in the end of Q2? Maybe $1,000. One suggestion: remove plus from the Patreon link, because when I click it, it shows 404. Oh shoot! Thank you for that. I did not realize it does that. Oh shoot! Thanks for the tip, Singh. Thank you, thank you. Hello, Dennis. Just want to confirm that I've received the 5.49% from TD Bank when I apply for Tesla financing. Krishna, thank you for mentioning that. We've been hearing reports that we can get 4.49, so who knows? I have my Model Y long range EDD this month. Do you suggest me to wait more to accept delivery? Also confused about the color. Choosing one is too tough. I would say get black or blue. Try DCU. DCU is good, but not that good. Is it still 4.99? I think it's, I mean, we have rates that are much better than that, but 4.99 is okay. It's okay. But thanks for sharing that, Krishna. Model 3 long range was ideal because of the 350 range, but now it's 325. It's not worth it now, unless it's a Project Highland, right? Could Model Y long range rear-wheel drive come to the US with 7,500 tax credit? It potentially could at some point once they bring the battery manufacturing here or whatever here. Maybe. Are you saying the lower the APR will come to the US? Potentially, Caleb. I mean, Tesla's got a lot of demand levers that they can pull, and they did talk about it in the most recent earnings call, or the 10Q submission, that Tesla might get involved with more financing at the end of the day. Let's see, we got one more topic. I guess we got two more topics. But in this next topic, the EV war continues, and Kia, with their EV6, unfortunately, looks like their sales have been derailed, and they've dropped a lot in sales. We'll talk about it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best behind Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can get the best Tesla buying guide out there that has all the links of all the different financing and everything. But definitely check it out, link down below in the description. But let us take a look at this. So shout out to Inside EVs. We can see right here on the screen, Kia EV sales derailed for April 2023, down 53% for the month. And this makes sense. I mean, because Tesla did massive price drops very, very recently. And so people probably thinking about buying this car, they probably looked at the Model Y competitor. And of course, Kia through the dealer network might have some sort of markup. And so probably a lot of people were like, you know what, I'm just going to save myself $10,000 and get a Model Y instead. But really the only shining star of this vehicle, because this is not surprising to me, because when I shopped for this vehicle, some of the quotes I was getting was 55, 60, maybe even 70K price, not MSRP, markup price. And so it's tough. And then on top of that, this vehicle does not have any sort of free supercharging in compared to its sister competitor, the Ioniq 5. The Ioniq 5 actually has like a few years of free charging through Electrify America, which makes it even more compelling. And this vehicle starts at an MSRP of $41,500. But of course, there's dealer markup with it, unfortunately, and a lot of different ways that you're going to pay more for this vehicle. But the Kia vehicle definitely looks a lot better in my opinion. I mean, they both kind of look interesting, but doesn't have free charging, and I can easily see how this vehicle have sold a lot less vehicles down over the year. But and also on top of that, I probably lost the 7,500 in federal tax credit. And so if you're out there, if you're wondering like which vehicles qualify for the tax credit and which vehicles don't, you can actually go to this website, fueleconomy.gov, where you can take a look at all the different vehicles that potentially could qualify. You can see we put it after April 18th, and here are all the different vehicles on the list. And unfortunately, Kia Hyundai are not on this list, and really only the Model Y gets the full 7,500, and the Model 3 Performance, and of course ID4 for Volkswagen, and a handful of other vehicles out there that maybe even the Ford Lightning, F-150 Lightning, and vehicles that aren't even out yet, like the Equinox and Blazer. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Did you actually ever shop for a Kia EV6 at one point, or even the Ioniq 6 or Ioniq 5? And let me know what your thoughts on it. Did you actually test drive it, and was it better, nicer? It's probably built more sturdier than a Tesla, because Tesla, it is what it is, but definitely some pretty interesting stuff. But we're going to jump into the live stream comments. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you can support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, so definitely check it out if you're interested. What exactly is the Refresh Highland? New headlights, new taillights, I think we don't have too much confirmed information, but there was a leaked spy shot that happened very recently. You can Google it or even check out some of the videos on the channel. We talked about it for a couple different videos, and it's gonna be about a refresh, just like how the Model S got a refresh like 2021 to 2022. I got 5.6 from DC on my Model Y Performance, and around 9:50 p.m. with 7K down. Not sure if I can go with it. Savage, there's definitely better rates than that. Credit unions are in like the 3 to 4% range right now. But Patreon link down below in the description if you want the full list. It has some free supercharge. Yes, Kia EV6 has like a little bit of free supercharge, but not too much at the end of the day. See what else we got. Should we talk about this? There's a bunch of deals from other EVs that got released, but maybe I'll go through this tomorrow because it's definitely getting late. We're on the East Coast side. But thanks for watching. Thanks for hitting the like button. Thanks for hitting the subscribe, and check out all the links down below if you want to support the channel. And I'll see you guys